Okay, sorry about that. So part two. So she knew that his mom was dying. She knew that his uncle just passed in October from the same thing that his mom was dying from. Um, and she actually went to his mom's house with us and talked to her, and she helped us convince her to get onto hospice because she knew she was going and she was in so much pain. But she went with us, and she told her story about her grandpa, if that's even true. Um, so my mother-in-law did decide to get on hospice. My mother-in-law just passed just over 2 weeks ago, and then her birthday was on the 6th. And she knows my husband is already having a hard time with everything because he just lost his best friend outside of me. And he talked to her every single day. He went to her house almost every single day. I went over there quite a bit to try to help with anything that I could. And she knew that we were both, exhausted from going over there every night and trying to live between two houses. And all she did was use whatever I had here and just kind of leave it in the sink or whatever and sleep on the couch. So my daughter came to stay a few days with us so that she could mourn with her dad. Sorry, my mouth is very dry. And then my other daughter came with the grandbabies over the weekend to mourn with her father. She knew all of this. While my daughter with the grandbabies were here, she acted right. Of course, I think she was working or something. But with my first daughter here, knowing that we had guests and knowing that it was to come grieve over her grandmother, she decided that she was going to stay on my couch and sleep till 4 p.m. I asked her to be up by 10:30 a.m. It wasn't the first time I asked her to be up by 10:30 a.m. because she had been sleeping on my couch the whole time. She knew that my daughter was coming to stay with us for a few days, and she decided that she was going to go into my husband's office and lay down and shut the door, and she slept in there for 2 days before Christina showed up. When Christina came, I got her stuff out of my husband's room because we had already told her Christina will be in that office, period. And she threw a fit because apparently she thinks she's supposed to come before my kids. I've been under a lot of stress since December of 2022. That's why things got so bad this past October. And that's why I ended up letting her back into my life. And she listened to me. And yes, I may have gripes about my husband or about my kids, but guess what? Bottom line, I've been with him for 17 years. You heard me say daughter more than once, and you heard me say grandbabies. I don't say stepdaughters. I don't say step grandkids. They're my kids. You don't trump my kids. I don't care if I'm complaining or, whatever, because everybody has complaints and everybody needs somebody to vent to. But she thought that by me venting, that she was going to take over that room. I don't think so. So I let myself calm down because when I get mad, you guys have seen it. You heard me yesterday. So I let myself calm down for 2 days. And then I told her that I will not put up with that. Like, you do not trump my kids. And you will not sleep till 4 p.m. knowing that we have guests, period. Because it's rude. And so she started writing in a notebook right away. Again, professional. And then she messed up on this one because my daughter was witness. When she was claiming that her debit card wasn't working, we went to the store and I had bought her a few things that she needed. Later that night, she went into her bank account and she Zelled me the money back for what I had paid for her. Then she asked, I think it was the next day, she asked me if she could Zell me some money and have me take it out of my ATM so that she could have cash since her debit card wasn't working. Luckily for me, Christina was in the car with me and she's witness to the fact that, that wasn't rent. But I think that's how she was trying to establish that she paid us. And sorry for you, you screwed up. Anyways, so then her attitude just kept getting worse and worse. She decided to go back up to my husband's room after my daughter left, and she thought that it was okay for her to sleep in there because even though it's his office, we have an extra mattress in there, and apparently she thought she was entitled to it. The reason there was so much stuff that I did not know about that was in my house is because this is a 4-bedroom house. Only 1 bedroom is truly being occupied right now, and that's the master. Me and my husband sleep in there. But my son that lives here is in the basement, so we have 3 open rooms. One is his office, one's my office, and one is an extra room that has a ton of my crafting overflowing it. Crafters, you understand this. Any non-crafters may not. But she put the stuff in 3 different rooms so that we didn't know how much there truly was. And she had things in my bathroom and in my son's bathroom upstairs. So she spread herself out very, very much without permission. And she's never had a key. So we have to be here at all times. Otherwise, we take the risk of having to replace a window or something because she broke in. But a cousin of mine who I have not seen or talked to in many, many years, probably at least 20, she did see my YouTube videos and she gave me a great idea. So we did find the attorney that represented the plaintiff December 2nd when she was evicted from her last place. I called him, but it was after 5 yesterday. We're not going to hear back from anyone until Monday. But my cousin gave me a great idea. And it is to report her to Adult Protective Services because that would bring criminal charges on her because she is taking advantage of a disabled person with cognitive impairment. I feel that, I personally want to call them. I wanted to call them last night. And have the investigation started. My husband wants to wait for the lawyer because he just wants her out as quick as possible. Like I said in video 1, when his mom died, he no longer wanted to live here. We moved here because we were here to help take care of her. So now this house is something he just doesn't want to be in at all. So we were ready to list our house, and we were looking at houses in Kentucky. I was already working with an agent. I had to call her and let her know what was going on and let her know that we are still going to work with her. It's just that, we were supposed to be in Kentucky all this week, having a nice vacation, checking out a couple properties, hanging out with some family that we haven't seen in a while. Yet we couldn't go because the moment we told her she had to leave, she refused to leave. And then yesterday, I don't know if I got it on video at all, but she threw out 3 times. Sorry, don't mind my fingers. She threw out 3 times that she's allowed to do what she wants because she's a resident. And she just kept throwing that in my face. Well, you never had a key. You never had a bedroom. So I guess while she's here, we're just going to cut. We're not going to have power. We're not going to have water. We're not going to have the heat on the main floor because we're tired of our bills going through the roof because she's here. So we are making it uncomfortable for her. And the police told us we were allowed to do so. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again.